Hey guys, welcome back to another Marvel Champions gameplay video. I'm Earth Twister, and I'm excited to be bringing you Captain Marvel in Justice against Red Skull in Expert Mode. Now this deck is one that is built by another content creator named TheMarvelChampion, while I did make a few slight alterations, and that's because I'm playing against Red Skull in Expert, and I've had a few difficulties just running this deck. Now the main focus of this deck is to confuse and keep confused the villain, and you're going to be wanting to hit him while you have Float Like a Butterfly out. With that in mind, the original deck had 3 copies of Float Like a Butterfly. Since they're NG resources, they also work well for Captain Marvel. And it also included several copies of Battlefield Benevolence. So I took a few of those out, and I added in 3 copies of For Justice and a skilled investigator card to help a little bit more with card draw. Even though we get quite a lot of good card draw, skilled investigator is always nice to have, especially when you're facing off against Red Skull. Having all these side schemes that are constantly out, it's just easy to work with. So let's go ahead. We've got everything set up, I believe. We've got Red House here. Let's go ahead and just do a quick little shuffle of the side scheme deck. I have done a few practice games. Things have not gone well. And there is actually one other card that I want to add to Captain Marvel's deck, so I'm going to have to dig that out real quick. I'll do a quick cut here, and then I'll show you what card it is as I add it in. So there really are 2 cards that I would want to go for, and I may add both of them to the deck, although Heroic Intuition is really going to be better for Captain Marvel because it is an energy resource. But on the other hand, getting 3 extra hit points and a +1 to thwart is always, always welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and get these cards sleeved up with the proper sleeve for the deck, and I'm going to shuffle them in, and we'll see how well things turn out for us. All right, now that we've got those cards sleeved up and added to the deck, let's give the deck a nice, good shuffle here. And as I've said, I've had some problems. I think a lot of it has come down to the fact that I just don't normally play Captain Marvel. And so when it comes to her decks, I really don't know what's priority as far as wanting to play aspect cards or wanting to play her kit down. It's just a bit of a challenge for me. So with that being said, I did talk to Solo a little bit on Discord about it, and he mentioned that really for this deck, the idea is, and the priority is to keep the villain confused. So get those confuses out, use the time that you can to flip down to Alter Ego, but also make sure you keep the villain confused so that when you have your Float Like a Butterfly out, you and your allies are dealing more damage. Now we've got that shuffled. Let's go ahead and make sure that we get the encounter deck shuffled. We want a good, even match. And honestly, some of the problems that I've had have just been plain bad luck. Getting Shadows of the Past or getting different cards that just cause issues all right together. You'll also notice, if you've been watching my videos before, I have removed my mat and expanded my field of vision. You can now see my card camera in the camera here. And that's just because I needed more space to play. And I don't quite have a mat that's going to work with the space that I have, but I thought having more space would at least be nice. We're going to start by drawing our starting hand. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Man. I think we'll get rid of a Photonic Blast, a Cosmic Flight, Chamber, and the Sonic Rifle. Kind of risky. We're going to go ahead and draw up to 4 more. Oh man, okay. So I think what I want to do here, I think I'm willing to sacrifice Float on the first round through, because getting the confuse is going to be super helpful. We also do get the card draw here with Carol Danvers, so we may not have to sacrifice Float. But we'll just have to see what happens. But getting Heroic Intuition on the field is going to help with maintaining those side schemes. Of course, we do also have Professor X. So now, for my first action, I'm going to choose myself to draw a card. We do not have to get rid of Float. We just won't be able to play it down right away. I think we'll get rid of Upside the Head there. We'll keep Crisis Interdiction and Float in hand. We're going to go ahead and use the Power of Justice to pay down for Heroic Intuition. So now I get +1 thwart. I'll flip up. And Then we're going to use these as 3 resources to pay for Professor X, who is going to put a confused status on Red Skull. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and use Professor X to thwart 3 off of the red house. That will go ahead and defeat that side scheme. We will put the discard pile up here. He will take a consequential. That leaves Red Skull open for an attack. So I do have to deal myself an encounter card here. I forgot that when revealed. So we have that extra encounter card on our first round. I'll swing for 2 on the Red Skull. So that'll take him from 16 down to 14. And I think I can't do anything with her ability here because I can't heal a damage. So I'll go ahead and ready, and we'll draw up to 5, 3, 4, 5. Didn't realize that I kept that extra copy of Float in the deck. That's good though. All right, so threat will go up by 1. We get a side scheme here, prison camps. That's actually one I like to see. And then Red Skull will attack for 2 plus a boost. Professor X will defend. 2, 3, 4. That will defeat Professor X. He'll go to the discard, and we'll get 2 encounter cards here. First one is a Hydra Soldier with Guard, and a Hydra Exo Soldier with Toughness and 5 hit points. That's unfortunate. All right, so to start here, Captain Marvel is going to thwart 3 off of prison camps. It says, when defeated, the player who defeated the scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and shuffles their deck. I'm actually going to grab Chamber. I'll put him in play. This may not have been the best choice, but I think as far as stats are concerned, Chamber is up there with the rest of them in the deck. Do I do 2 for Eros? I have energy resources though, so I don't have any mentals. The float wouldn't help. I mean, the float would help because I'd be able to do more damage to Red Skull, but I won't have a confuse. I thwarted with her. So this upside the head would be great to pay for Eros. So we could use another float to pay for him. Or because Red Skull is confused, we could flip down and try drawing a card. I think we might do that. So we're going to use Crisis Interdiction and Float Like a Butterfly. Pay for Float Like a Butterfly. We'll go ahead and have Captain Marvel flip down. We're going to choose myself to draw a card. This is going to generate 2 mental resources for me to pay for Eros, which means that Hydra Soldier and the Hydra Exoskeleton will both be confused. With that in mind, Eros is going to attack for 2 on the Hydra Exo Soldier, which removes the toughness. Chamber will go ahead and swing for 3 on the Hydra Exo Soldier. Swing for 3 and take no consequential damage for that. So the Hydra Exo Soldier has 3. That is all I can do this turn. Eros does take a consequential. We'll ready and draw up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not bad. Threat will go up by 1. All of them would try to scheme, but they are all confused. I do forget that this comes in. Oh, that means the sleeper is in. So he will scheme, which means the threat will go up by 1. He will have a tough status card on him. Then we get our encounter card. Master Plan. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. I'm not sure how this works. I guess we put 4 threat here, but the threat doesn't matter on that because the sleeper, when that gets defeated, that's when that leaves play. You'll have to let me know if that's right. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to choose myself to draw a card. We get 4 Justice. I'm going to go ahead and put Skilled Investigator into play. Chance Encounter wouldn't be good on that side scheme. So we may want to save a upside the head. I think we're going to flip up here. Eros is going to swing on the sleeper, remove the tough, and fade into black. He has 5 hit points. So we're going to use... Wow. One, two, three. For Photonic Blast, deal 5 damage to an enemy. If I paid for this card using an energy resource, draw a card. So I did. I used 2 energy resources there. So we'll draw a card. That does defeat the sleeper. When defeated, remove the sleeper from the game. And then when the sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game. Perfect. That leaves the Exo Soldier in play. Do I bring out Cypher, or do I try to confuse the Exo Soldier in hopes? So I haven't swung yet. I can defeat the Exo Soldier on my own. The Hydra Soldier would need to be confused. I think what we'll do is I'm going to use these as 2 resources to pay for 4 Justice and remove 3 threat from the scheme. Captain Marvel will attack for 2 on the Hydra Exo Soldier. And we'll leave the Hydra Soldier in play to try and hopefully get a confuse off on it and Red Skull next turn. We'll drop to 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can use 3 for Spider-Woman and we get a confuse on the villain for sure, but then that leaves 2 for Dazzler, which isn't enough. Otherwise, we can try to get 4 for Dazzler. Let's say Chance Encounter. And then see what happens after that. I don't know. All right, so threat goes up by 1. We get our side scheme here, Hydra Reinforcements. Perfect, we focus on the threat here. The player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion, which is going to be really great for the Hydra Soldier. Okay, so now Red Skull is going to attack for 2 plus a boost. I'm going to take this to the face. 2, 3. Go down to 9. And the Hydra Soldier will attack for 2. I'll also take that. We get 2 encounter cards. First one is Twisted Reality. When attached side scheme is defeated, deal the first player an encounter card. Okay. And then advance. So he's going to scheme for 3. Just 3. So that puts this back up at 4. All right. To get lucky with the draw. Right. Yeah. So I'm going to do 4 resources to pay for Dazzler. After Dazzler enters play, confuse an enemy. I think we're going to go ahead and confuse Red Skull here. She has more health than Spider-Woman, so she'll end up lasting longer. Either way, I know I want Chamber to attack Red Skull. I can either have Captain Marvel thwart this off or Dazzler. We'll get a card draw there. So Dazzler's going to thwart this just because it feels bad to overthwart. When defeated, the player who defeated this side scheme discards a non-elite minion. So this gets discarded. He is not defeated, so I don't get the encounter card from him, but I do get the encounter card from Twisted Reality. That defeats that. Skilled Investigator will draw me a card. I did get lucky there. Which means I can go ahead and use these 3 resources. Pay for Spider-Woman. She does confuse the villain. He's already confused, though. She'd have a consequential. So with that being said, I'm going to thwart 3 off of the scheme here. And then Spider-Woman will attack for 3 on Red Skull, taking him down to 11. She'll take a consequential for that. Chamber will attack for 3. And I'm factoring in float like a butterfly when I say attack for 3. And he takes no consequential because Red Skull, of course, is confused. We'll ready up. We'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Threat will go up by 1. Red Skull gets a side scheme. Censor the past. He will attack for 2 plus a boost. Spider-Woman will defend. 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you, Spider-Woman. And then we get 2 encounter cards. The first one is Red Skull's right hook, so he's going to get Retaliate 1 here. I have to spend those resources in order to remove it. And we get a Hydra Regular with Insight. Hydra Regular is not really a problem. Okay. So we've got the Confuse. I'll go ahead and thwart 3 off of Censor the Past. Each player chooses up to 3 cards in their discard pile and shuffles them into their deck. I want to get those Confuses again, so we're going to grab Professor X, Sonic Rifle, and the Power of Justice. Having the Power of Justice hopefully trigger at the same time, or draw at the same time that we get the Sonic Rifle would be great. Skilled Investigator is going to draw us a card. Avengers Mansion. Alright, so I'd love to get the helmet down. Photonic Blast would be great too. Alpha Flight Station is going to be good for card draw. But these would be the resources I need for getting rid of the right hook there. So we'll go ahead and discard these 3 to get rid of the right hook. And then we have these cards. So I'm going to go ahead and use these as 2 resources to put my helmet into play. Dazzler will take out the Hydra Regular. She'll take a consequential. Chamber will attack for 3 on Red Skull, taking him down to 5. Captain Marvel will flip down. And we'll ready and drop to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, Okay. Threat will go up by 1 to 4. We get Hydra Patrol. Red Skull would scheme, but he is confused. And we get an encounter card. Hydra Soldier. Okay. Well, as Carol Danvers, I'm going to go ahead and heal for 4. It'll take me up to 11. Heroic Conditioning is not super important here. So really, Professor X and the Sonic Rifle will be our big things that we want to get down. So we'll do 3. Actually, let's draw a card first. See what we get. Genius. Actually quite helpful. Skilled Investigator. Before we pay for anything, let's go ahead and flip up. I'll have Dazzler thwart 2 off of Hydra Patrol. That will defeat Hydra Patrol, allowing me to draw a card with Skilled Investigator. And then I search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and put it into play engaged with me. So he's put into play, not revealed, so he does not incite. Alright, so that does defeat Dazzler here. Not too worried about that, I guess. Alright. So here is 3 resources. I'm still left with just 2. So I could get Cosmic Flight in. So 3 resources there. 1, 2, 3 for Professor X. And then 2 for the Cosmic Flight. I think that's actually probably the best. So we'll do 2 for Cosmic Flight. That gives me Aerial. And then I can also prevent 3 damage from coming to me. But it allows me to get 2 plus 2 defense, so I have a defense of 3 now. Then I'll use these as 3 resources to pay for the Sonic Rifle. We'll come in with 2. And then we'll go ahead and use these as 3 resources to pay for Professor X, who's going to come in and confuse the villain. And he'll go ahead and thwart 3 off of the Rise of Red Skull, taking a consequential. Now the guard minion is a bit of an issue. Having the Hydra regular in play is bigger, so we're going to go ahead and confuse the Hydra regular with a token from Sonic Rifle, and Chamber will take him out, taking no consequential. Oops. I'll pick that up later. Alright, then we'll ready and draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Threat goes up by 1. We get our final side scheme here, Mass Chaos. We discard the top 5 cards of my deck and place 1 threat here for each different type of resource icon they discard this way. There's only 2 cards left. I believe that it doesn't discard any more after the 2. Like I don't reshuffle and then discard. So if I do that wrong, please let me know down in the comments below. 2 mentals. This only comes in with 1 threat. I do get an extra encounter card. And these will shuffle up. All right. Shuffle up the player deck. So Red Skull will then attack for 2 plus a boost. We'll have Professor X defend. Two, 3. He'll get a tough. Professor X is defeated. Hydra Soldier will hit me for 2. Now we get our encounter cards. Bitter Rival. Exhaust a character you control for each side scheme in play. I guess we'll exhaust Chamber. And we get a Hydra Regular with Insight 1. Okay. Well, we'll put in the energy channel. The Power of Justice. We'll pay for 4 Justice. It'll remove 3 threat from here. I'll exhaust to remove the threat from Mass Chaos. Skilled Investigator will draw me a card. Ooh, it's another 4 Justice. We'll use the 4 Justice as energy to heal me 1. And draw a card. Photon Blast, and we don't have enough resources to pay for it. None of these are energy. So flipping down to get the other Sonic Rifle would be great. I guess we'll trigger the Sonic Rifle to confuse the Hydra Regular. That's the last of this Sonic Rifle. I'll flip down, draw a card, use these as 3 resources for a Sonic Rifle, and I didn't realize that it's a hero action. That's okay though. We'll have it on top for later. Ready? Drop to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cypher's going to be some card draw here. Threat goes up by 1. Red Skull is confused. Hydra Regular is confused. Threat goes up by 1 for the Hydra Soldier. Of course, we have Hydra Reinforcements that comes in. That would have happened before the schemes. I get 2 encounter cards because of Hydra Reinforcements. First one is a Surge into a Hydra Flame Soldier. And Infinite Power. He's going to get a Tough Status card, which he already has, and he's going to scheme. So he's going to scheme for 3, 4, 5. Puts this at 7. Okay. Draw a card. Eros. Don't have many mentals. So I'd want to use Upside the Head probably to pay for him. Do I want to get 2 more allies in? So I can get confused on one of the minions. I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and flip up. Man. Okay. Battlefield Benevolence and Upside the Head. So that's 2. That's 1 mental. We'll pay for Eros. After I pay Eros from hand, confuse a minion for each mental resource used to pay for him. I'm going to go ahead and confuse the Hydra Regular. Eros is then going to thwart off of Hydra Reinforcements. I'll take a consequential for that. The player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion. That'll be the Hydra Soldier. He gets discarded, not defeated. That leaves the Hydra Flame Soldier and the Hydra Regular in play. Cosmic Flight and Heroic Conditioning. Pay for Cypher. I would also get to draw a card there for Skilled Investigator. Forgot that. Sonic Rifle is going to trigger to confuse Red Skull. No. The Hydra Soldier. Cypher is going to attack and hit for 2 on the Hydra Regular. After Cypher attacks and damages a confused enemy, draw a card. He'll take a consequential for that. Chamber is going to hit for 3 on the Hydra Flame Soldier. He's not defeated, but he doesn't take any consequential for that. Float like a butterfly. We'll pay for Battlefield Benevolence. We'll heal 2 from the villain and confuse him. And then Energy Absorption will pay for Energy Channel. So 3 counters will get to go on Energy Channel. And I'll thwart 3 off of the main, dropping it down to 4. We'll ready and draw. 2, 3, 4, 5. Threat goes up by 1 to 5. Red Skull gets a side scheme. Hydra Patrol. He's going to attack for 2 plus a boost. Eros is going to defend. 2, 3, 4. That defeats Eros. Encounter card. Family Emergency. I'm going to flip to Alter Ego and Exhaust to remove this from the game. Alright. I did forget that he attacked. I guess I would have been undefended, so I would have taken 1 damage. After he makes an undefended attack against you, discard a support you control. I have no supports, they're all upgrades. That doesn't really matter. Okay, so on my turn, Cypher is going to attack and hit for 2 on the Hydra Flame Soldier, which will defeat him. I get to draw a card. He gets defeated. Okay. This is not bad at all. I mean, all of the crisis interdictions in my hand are pathetic, but it's okay. I can't heal. I can draw a card. We'll flip up. We'll use 2 for a crisis interdiction. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. Then if you have the aerial trait, remove 2 threat from a different scheme. I do because of Cosmic Flight. Hydra Patrol is defeated. I get to draw a card for Skilled Investigator. And we will get Hydra Regular. No damaging potential at all. What we'll do though is we will pay for Justice with Genius. That will remove all the threat from the main. The Sonic Rifle will confuse the Hydra Regular. We'll spend 2 energies to get this up to 5. Chamber will defeat the Hydra Regular. Then we'll ready and drop to 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Threat goes up by 1. Red Skull gets a side scheme. Prison camps. He'll attack for 2 plus a boost. I'll defend for 3. 2. He's going to get a tough and another boost. I exhaust a character I control. That is not good. So I take no damage from him because he attacked for 2 and then didn't get any other boost icons. There are 2 boost effects. So I took no damage from that. Encounter card. Hydra Jet Trooper with Quick Strike. Get hit for 2. Well, now I have no way to remove threat, which is unfortunate. So this stinks. We'll do 3 resources for the Quinn Carrier. Quinn Carrier will get Alpha Flight Station. This may be... Well, he only schemes for 0, so it doesn't really matter. I think we're going to flip down here. I'm going to draw a card for her thing. I'm going to use Alpha Flight Station to discard a card from my hand and draw 2 cards. It helps me see what I can get next turn. So we'll ready and draw up to 6, 4, 5, 6. Threat goes up by 2. He's confused. Ooh, now he can't take damage until that's gone. And our encounter card is Twisted Reality. It doesn't matter which one it gets attached to. We'll just attach it to 1. Okay. We'll draw a card. Then we'll discard a card and draw 2. So we want that there. Maybe that there. Okay. We'll put Chance Encounter on the red house. We'll use 4 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4. For Dazzler. She enters play. She's going to confuse the Hydra Jet Trooper. Then we'll use Energy Absorption for Spider Woman. When she enters play, she confuses the villain. Then I'll flip up. I'll thwart 3 off of prison camps. When defeated, the player who defeats the scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and shuffles their deck. No, I won't do that yet. Spider Woman will hit Red Skull for the tough. She'll take a consequential for that. Then I will thwart 3 off of prison camps. And I will go grab Professor X. Ooh, no, wait, hold on. let me think about this a little bit. These two are X-Men. So instead of using her, yeah, she was fine to hit. Instead of thwarting off of prison camps just yet, I'll go ahead and have Chamber hit for 3 on the Hydra Jet Trooper. Removes him from play. He didn't take a consequential because he's confused. Then I will thwart 3 off of the prison camps. Bring in Professor X. I don't need the confuse. I'll get rid of Spider-Woman here. I don't need the confuse, but I'll take the ready. Then he'll thwart 3 off of the red house. I get an encounter card. Chance encounter will trigger, finding me an ally to put in my hand. Skilled Investigator would trigger off of one of those. That gives me Energy Channel. Well, I'll put... I need to get some damage down. So 1, 2, 3. We'll put Spider-Woman back in play. Get rid of Professor X. She'll swing on Red Skull for 3. And we'll take another encounter card for this. She'll take a consequential. Dazzler will hit for 3. And take a consequential. Chamber will hit for 3. No consequential, but we'll flip him. When revealed, we deal each player an encounter card. He goes up to 20 hit points. Now, I'm not sure how this works. So correct me in the comments if this is wrong. But when a character you control attacks a confused enemy, increase the amount of damage that attack deals. Oh, it has to be an attack. This is an attack. Okay. So I'm going to discard this card. I deal 2 damage to an enemy for each energy counter here. So I think that means I deal 3 damage for each energy counter. So I believe with Float Like a Butterfly, that takes him all the way down to 5 hit points from 20. Be nice if I could have gotten the whatever I'm looking for, but it didn't happen. So we'll go ahead and drop to 5. We'll get it next turn. Even if he does get a tough. He gets Censor the Past. This would have gone up by 1. Red Skull will attack for 2, 3 plus a boost. Spider-Woman will take it. 3, 4, 5. That, of course, defeats Spider-Woman. Then we get 4 encounter cards. The first one is the Hydra Exo Soldier with Toughness. Hydra Jet Trooper with Quick Strike. Hydra Flame Soldier under Fire, where it surges and reveals the top card of the encounter deck. We get Shadows of the Past. This comes in with 4 threat. And then, oh no. You've got to be kidding me. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks. All right. Red Skull is going to attack for 4 plus a boost. Dazzler will soak up that damage. 4, 5. Beyond Rog. Will come at me for 3. Cosmic Flight will prevent 3 damage. This goes up to 5. Hydra Exo Soldier will deal 2 to Chamber. And I'll take 2 from the Hydra Jet Trooper. Oh, that was scary. Okay. Of course, Chamber is exhausted. I have no damage cards in my hand and no way to ready. This is going to pay for 4 Justice, which will remove 4 threat from that scheme. I got to flip down to survive. Although before I did that, sorry, I will use these. I'll use this and Upside the Head to pay for Crisis Interdiction to remove 2 threat from a scheme. That defeats that. I get to draw a card. I get a 4 Justice. With no way to pay for it. I could risk it. No, we'll flip down. Now, we'll draw a card. Energy Absorption will pay for Heroic Conditioning. Gives me plus 3 hit points. And then we'll ready and draw up. Man, that was a really rough turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. We're going to lose this first scheme, I think. That's okay. Threat goes up by 2 to 6. Red Skull would scheme, but he's confused. Young Rog schemes for 2. That pops this. I do apologize. Prison camps. This comes in, brings in another side scheme. Starts with 1. Goes up by 1, 3, so it goes up to 4. Then we get an encounter card. Cut off card, discard an upgrade or support you control. We will discard Heroic Intuition. Okay. We survived, and I think 3 for Professor X. Get the Confuse on Red Skull. I'll draw a card. We will discard a card to draw 2. I'll flip up. Whew. Professor X will thwart off prison camps. He'll take a consequential. We have to draw a card and get an ally in play. I think my best ally is going to be Dazzler. Dazzler will confuse the Hydrojet Trooper. We'll spend 1, 2, 3 on Photonic Blast. I did use an energy resource, so we'll defeat Yanrog and draw a card. We'll do 3 more Photonic Blast for the Hydra Flame Soldier. Captain Marvel will swing for 3 on Red Skull, taking him down to 2. Chamber will defeat the Hydrojet Trooper. Dazzler will hit Red Skull for the remaining 2 really. And that's game. That got intense right there at the very end. I thought I was going to lose with that gang up. I've lost games with that before. That's almost a little bit more scary than the advanced. Or the advance. And we didn't. We were able to strategically take hits, and we survived. And because of that, we were able to pull off the win 2 turns later, which was great. And we cleared out several of the minions, one of the side schemes. And if I'd let it go another turn or so, I may have been able to clear everything else out. But as it stood, I needed to get out of here. It's getting late. That was an intense game. That was a fun game. Solo, I really enjoyed your deck. I enjoyed playing Captain Marvel, which is not something that I had enjoyed before. So, hey man, that was good. Float Like a Butterfly is one of my favorite builds in the game. I really enjoy the confused, the damage that you can get with that. Do let me know if I played anything wrong, if I misread anything, or if things didn't work out the way that they should have. I enjoyed this. This was a really fun game. This was a really, really fun game. And I can't wait to try it out again on different enemies. Red Skull was probably not the right one to try it out on right away with just a confused build. I know it worked well, but I did really need a lot of threat management. And if I didn't have those 4 Justices in my kit, or even getting the extra threat removal, I would not have been able to win. Thanks for the build, and be sure, guys, to check it out down in the comments below. I will link his build, and I did mention the changes that I made at the beginning of the video. So if you want to play it the way I did with the Skilled Investigator, just go back to the beginning of the video and make the edits on that deck the way that you want to. This was really fun, and I hope that you guys had a great time. Always remember, stay twisty.